Did you know Jesus defines Holy Spirit? In Mark chapter 13, verse 11, the yellow highlighted text that you see, Jesus teaches sometimes the words people say are not their own words. The words are from or by Holy Spirit. And in Matthew chapter 10, verse 20, Jesus teaches, Holy Spirit is our Father's word speaking from your mouth. Now, I did some editing in the blue and green highlighting, and the word in, and I had to add the word through, because we have 4 examples of our Father's words. The first example, Luke chapter 1, verse 67, tells us when Zacharias declared John's the Baptist's life, these words had to be said by our Creator, for he prophesied John's life. The second example we have is Luke chapter 1, verse 41, when out of Elizabeth's mouth she declared Mary's son is blessed. These 2 verses prove their words were our Creator's words coming from their mouths. The third and fourth example are in Luke chapter 12, verse 12, and Matthew chapter 12, verse 28, where Jesus teaches our Creator's words will be said in their mind, and then they are to say his words. Other examples of our Creator's words coming to their mind are in the Hebrew text, where the prophets are being told to go out, and then our Creator will tell them what to say. Thus, Jesus teaches us there is no Trinity. All right, this is going to be chapter 16, but what I went through in 15, I got to show you a little bit, because this next king is going to be missing. We've gone going from this king here, who is now just passed away, and this is a kind of like a quick summary of that. Here's how he died, and he was buried, and then Hezekiah, his youngest son, is going to become king in his place. So what I've got to show you here is the king's timeline. We're talking this king passed away, and now this king, and we've been introduced to this king. This king has been mentioned, but not yet too much of what's going on with the story. And we don't have these 2 kings here yet, I believe. So I know we're getting close to the end of Kings. So what I am doing is looking for the hidden formats by the first writers. And what I do is I try to make each verse with 2 major words, connecting them with the least amount of smallest words I can. And then you can see that this is how all of them look. As for making up the verses. In a 3 verse, this one here is a statement. This one and this one connect together as a sentence that defines the statement. So that's what I am looking for in a 3 verse format. This becomes a small paragraph, and these 2 become a larger paragraph. Now there is a 4 verse, it's the same thing, only it's 2 of these together to be 4 verse, and then 2 of those combined together will make a larger paragraph. This will be chapter 16 of 2 Kings. Let's see how that looks on your screen there. Okay. So when I start these, it's a little rough because I don't know quite what's going on, whether it's a 2 verse or a 3 verse. And what's unique about Kings and also Samuel, which I'll be doing Samuel 2 next, it's hard to get the lineage correctly in these dates and times. So what I've done is I'm using our Creator's hidden formats numbers, and it took me a long, I'd say better part of 2 years rereading, making a small adjustment here, making a small reading again, making a small adjustment until I fine-tuned these numbers. And you will find that I have an accuracy over like 400 some years. Maybe I'm off maybe a year, and these are pretty much noting that the event during this timeline, these were happening. So it's not like this is 52 years and this equals 20 years. So it's more or less whether these events happen in the middle of this. The blue line is the lineage from whose king's son becomes king. And that'll be revealed. Now, here, Pika is for 28 years. Now, in our Creator's hidden formats, when this king lost all these, then there was no king, and then there was this king that happened, and he lost these last 3 tribes. Now, the tribes that we're talking about, these have been lost, and these have been lost to Assyria just now. These are the last 3 here. So they probably had too many people, and they couldn't take them away. Now, that means that when they come down here, that the land before here, which is Aram, would have been taken away into captivity and put under Syria control. So I was noticing that in the text that they had forgot that, or they didn't care. They just wrote whatever they wanted to. See, that's when they're saying this guy became king in the 17th year. So let me see. In his 17th year, Zeke became king. So that's wrong. And it was wrong here as well. For this king. That's now straightened out. But I'm trying to see how come this isn't a 3 verse or a 4 verse. See, this is too many. This would have to be the king for Israel. Has to be added that because you got to introduce who he is. And since I'm adding all this, the text will be like that. Now it's going to be here. Now this is his son. And I got this. Because they've been the youngest son. And I'm doing this for history, so you'll be able to see the past videos, and then you would know that he is the king for Judah, became king, or king. First person writer. Well, because this king we've already done. So that's why I know that we got to follow the lineage, keep going as the kings go through. Was 20 years old when he this is not needed. He was 20 years when he kinged. I know it's a sloppy word, but that's better than me messing with all the rest of the text. Okay, let me do it this way and get rid of this. At 2 years, he became. Let's see, I've already got it here. But this is kind of repeating. He ruled for, says 16 years. I don't think that's the right number. So what is the number here? 35. There's got to be 3 10s and 5. I'm adding the 3. And I'm getting rid of this to make it 5 years. In Jerusalem, and he was a good king, but it was starting to get pretty bad. And we've seen that by the other kings not taking down the altars for Ra and Asherah, his moon goddess daughter. But he did do right. And he did right. And I've been putting good here because they didn't get rid of this here stuff. But the priest started becoming corrupt at this time, according to texts that I've got of, I think, from Isaiah. And I'm going to say, like his father had done, and I'm going to use these 2 words being added done, I'm going to make this mine. Say I added it though. And that meets the format. And this is not true. Kings of Israel, this would have kept it as that he did not, but he was a good king because our prophet gave him another, or YV gave him another 15 years of life when he had a real illness that Isaiah went to tell him he's going to die. And as he was going out, the way he handled the words from our Creator through Isaiah, our Creator heard him, and then he sent Isaiah back in to give him 15 more years of life. So that's why it's 35 years. He did not do this. He did not do this. Well, this can't be true then. But you can see that it's starting to say that had driven out them before the sons of Israel. So now this text is pretty much saying that they're at the end of his life telling you the years. So it's down here. And that's true because this would have all been gone by then. Now this king here from Aram can't be true because he's the one that let me show you a map here so you understand what I'm talking about, because I want to make sure that when history is examining, I want them to know exactly what was going on. See, Assyria was here and they came down. Now here you can see I have got Aram here ruling out of Damascus. And so he's ruling above here. To get through here to here, they have got to be taken away when they took away Israel. So this king here for Aram, this story has to be someplace else or it's just going to be wrong. Now, what's bad about this is when I did this text, I noticed it here too, that actually this should be the king from Assyria had sent back down, because this guy does not exist in Aram anymore. So this would be Assyria. So this has to be the right one. And now this, so it's got to be copied here. But that's the problem with the text that I got to figure out. Well, that I've done too much of. Now, see, this is what I'm said, that this other king is here. This guy here was then made king after he left. I spell that right? Oh, no, no E. EA. There's where that E goes. Israel. And there's even warning here, I know, in the story of Isaiah that talks about the rest of these guys coming down here. They aren't supposed to bring their practice here, so that's why I'm leaving it as, whoops, that isn't what it is. This, I'm editing too much here. So then this is the end there. I don't know what the king's name is here. Now, according to my list, though, see, I have him under king, but it's going to be this king here for Assyria. And I know I've shortened it down. So, but that's the king. It has to be sent messengers, and I don't have that. It has to be sent is no, that would is how it have to be corrected to be truthful. And this would have to be this can't be his messenger, sent his army. And after he sent a captain to there. And this would be here, but that I'd have to go check that text later as to who he is. Came to Jerusalem. They did not besiege it. So at that time, this can't be true. They had to be taken captives as well. And they didn't besiege, so that would be wrong. But this, they came up to the gate, like I said, he mocked our Creator in the story. That's why Isaiah sent his messenger, told them that their messenger that's there, or captain that's there, is going to be sent back because he's going to hear a rumor of war. So this, I don't know if this is going to make it because I don't really have all the story from Isaiah here about that. So in the long run, this is going to get thrown out when I mesh all the books together. Is this a Bible study? I'm getting a question here off of Twitch. It's not a Bible study. I'm actually revealing the hidden formats that the first writers wrote. And these are the two styles of writing that they've done. They will write with a comma and a period and a comma and a period. And these two become a sentence, and these become a sentence, and I got hit that. And what you'll see is that this becomes a paragraph, and then this here is a paragraph. So they put two of them together to make a larger paragraph, and that's how they wrote a long time ago. In the 3-verse format is this will be a statement, and this will be a comma, and together with this as a sentence will define the statement. And then those two will hook together to become a larger paragraph as well. There is words in Isaiah, I believe, that they wrote in columns. So when you look at this text, you can see that they wrote in a column. What I'm doing is recording this for history because I've only got one more book to go before I'm done. But this is what I'm doing is I'm cleaning the text out. And I've been doing this for 30 years, so a lot of what I'm just got done talking about here is I know the stories quite well. I also have the link there that you can click on Psalms and see how I cleaned up Psalms. And then show you which ones didn't have a format, because I think I threw out 51 of them that didn't have a format. But I have videos that I'll link of everything together when I get done. So, but right now I'm on the last 2 books, and it's confusing to see who's these kings because this guy here, he's dead, been dead for a while. This is the king's timeline, and you can see he's here. And I'm talking about this king and these kings, that this has already been taken by Assyria, and he's got to come down and take Assyria here. And this is the king for Assyria that should be here. Oh, I didn't show this. Okay, I left his name a little longer. But yeah, what I did is I only took one off here. So see, now this is saying, deliver me from the hand of the king for Israel. No, that didn't happen. So this story is not connecting correctly, so that'll be thrown out. This guy did not. Now, I have the story above where Pekah the king Pekah for Israel had sent silver to turn him away, but then he came back down anyway, and he took him. So they must have not been. He must have wanted yearly tribute, and it didn't happen. So this story's pretty much got the wrong king, but the same story is up here. See, he went to Damascus. He'd already been through Damascus, so this can't be right. This, too, he's already taken over. When I showed the map, that it's showing how this is just not right, or they're trying to retell the story from above, because this too is all wrong. He did not. He's the king for Judah, and he made a pattern of the altar, a pagan altar, and brought it down. That king was actually Jeroboam, and so they're trying to mix the story from way back here at this king, and they're trying to make it as Judah's king doing this. Yeah, because this is pretty much the same story. That, see, he went up to it and then what happened when he did walk up to it to offer, there was an unknown prophet that came from Judah and told him that one day there'll become a king that'll come along and destroy the altar and kill the men, the priests, and burn their bodies on these altars, because they made it like in Judah, where they had one for each tribe, an altar for each tribe, and then a larger one. So it was multiple altars that they were going to burn all these bodies. And Jehu actually dug up the bones of those in the graveyard and then burned those as well. That's all prophecy. So this can't happen at all. This is not true. And none of this would have been true either. We're out of order kings. Right now, the kings that I've got done here, everything is in order. I mean, this king here, he's the son of this king here. Then his son, this guy's the next king after him. This king, see how this guy here becomes, because these are all in order. So I've got all these in order in Kings 1 and 2. All this in order. Kings 2 starts somewhere in here. I think I can't remember now. Too much on my head. But these are all in order. This is going way back out of order. So this, this would have been wrong, because they're trying to now mesh the story of it's in Judah that they're doing this. So you remove the house for YHVH because the king of Assyria. Now we got Nebuchadnezzar coming down to destroy, and then take all the utensils into his treasury in Babylon. So we haven't had the fall of Judah yet. So this still would be wrong. Now see here, now we're getting to the king that is supposed to be here. when I started this here, I had to, in this many years of this king, and I had to add this to meet the format. This king, not this king. See, they've been trying to put this king from Jotham. You can see I didn't edit this word, and he became king. So when we look at the king's timeline here, we've got Jotham, and the next one should be him. Jotham is his son. That's the representative of the blue line. So, and he ruled for 35 years in Jerusalem. And that's more or less like a summary. Their stories. This is a piece, but I think this is going to be wrong here. So, let me see what's. And then this wasn't the city of David, it was known as Bethlehem. Got to check this, excuse me for a second. Okay. This. My sister's flight's been canceled because too much flooding going on, and my other sister was flying in the next day, and I guess they're gonna hook up together and come down. Boy, that's they live about 60 miles apart. My sister's got anyways, okay, I'm gonna get rid of this then as well. That was a quick video, but the next one's got like 40 verses, so I couldn't put these together. But even what I've got here really is starting to get really corrupt text, because the stories have been going so good in order as what king to what king to what king, and then get all that garbage stuck in there. So what I got here is this, then this would be a double space, then it'd be a double space here. This isn't here. Now see, this is telling me that there is text missing right here. So I got to get a 3-verse grouping here. And that would go right here. And then the story is going to change. That story's got to change right here. And then I've got to leave 2 spots. This one's going to have the title of the story here, which this is not good, but this has got a verse missing here. So kind of crappy, but it got done today and getting closer. I think there's, what is there, 24 chapters. So I'm on 17 next. Yep, 17. So I'm getting closer to the end, but that was really quick and easy. And didn't get much, but that's what happens sometimes. I will see you on the next one if you stop by.